Socioeconomy refers to the combination of social and economic factors that influence the well-being of individuals and communities. These factors can include things like education, employment, income, wealth, and access to resources and opportunities. Now, let's take a closer look at each of these components. First, education is a major factor in socioeconomic status. Higher levels of education are often associated with higher levels of income and job opportunities, as well as improved health outcomes and overall quality of life. Next, employment is another important factor. People who are employed tend to have higher levels of income and access to resources, while those who are unemployed may struggle to make ends meet and may not have the same opportunities for advancement. Wealth is another factor that can impact socioeconomic status. This can include things like assets such as property or investments, as well as debts and other financial obligations. Finally, access to resources and opportunities is a major factor in socioeconomic status. This can include access to education, healthcare, and other necessities, as well as opportunities for career advancements and social mobility. So, in summary, socioeconomic status is a complex mix of social and economic factors that can have a significant impact on an individual's well-being and opportunities in life. Understanding these factors is important for policymakers and communities looking to promote social and economic equality and well-being. So now, let's take a look at the causes of the emergence of Islamic and capitalism economy systems. First, distribution of wealth. For the capitalism system, when people's needs are limitless but there are only a finite number of resources accessible, the firm should concentrate more on production because consumers can consume more. While for the Islamic economy system, progress in a more positive manner by focusing on wealth distribution by ensuring that resources for the poor and rich are fair and equitable, and that all communities are entirely pleased with their demands. Next is the restriction of riba. For the capitalism system, prices are frequently set in the markets in a way that benefits society while also aiming to make a promise. For the Islamic economy system, riba or interest in any type of economic activity is forbidden in this economy system. For the next one is generates well-being for society. For the capitalism system, more attentive of human behavior as they concentrate more on producing for people to consume and may obtain what they desire. While for the Islamic economy system, morals can elevate people's ambitions, which can affect their tastes and wants and hence promote a price system based on general well-being. As a result, several causes may develop from the Islamic and capitalist systems. According to the example, the capitalist economic system inspired the formation of the Islamic system since it might benefit society's well-being, particularly in the allocation of wealth, while the Islamic economic system emphasized on equality and fairness. So for now, let's take a look at the challenges of Islamic and capitalism economy system. First, for the Islamic economy system, Muslim countries burdensome interest-bearing domestic. The reduction of Muslim society's existing massive public sector debt would take the longest time and would necessitate a complete reform of the entire government machinery, as well as the elimination of all corruption and wasteful spending. The next one is high level of external debt. The debt service load payment of the interest plus principal is so substantial as a percentage of goods and services exports and GDP, though not as high as in other emerging countries. However, unless Muslim countries could free themselves from the fascinating aspect through improved mutual ties and some form of reciprocity with non-Muslim countries, all regular international transactions would have to be handled on the basis of interest. While for the capitalism system, first environmental failure. The immigration of CFC feeds from aerosol and other sources. As the hole in the ozone subcast grows larger, the Earth's atmosphere's protection from the sun deteriorates with disastrous meteorological and climate impacts. The air pollution brought on by the carbon dioxide and sulfur is a further environmental issue, as a lot of it comes from buses that run on gasoline or diesel. With these environmental pitfalls, it's clear that these are one of the challenges of the capitalism economic systems. Last but not least, socialism issues. The free market system itself was created. Liberal governments adopted more welfare-based or socially acceptable economy policies, accepted the idea of mixed economy, or acknowledged the potential for a scenario in which different forms of capitalism converge. Offers diversity with limitless opportunity for cooperation in the pursuit of shared values in common interest. When capitalism is riding the wave of globalization, is not to achieve unity in diversity. Capitalism and Islamic economic systems are two different economic systems that have their own unique features and characteristics. The positive impacts of capitalism include, firstly, economic growth. Capitalism incentivizes individuals to start businesses and invest in technologies can lead to economic growth. Next, consumer choice. Under capitalism, there is a wide range of goods and services available for consumers to choose from, which can lead to increased competition and lower price. For the next one, innovation. The profit motive in capitalism encourages businesses to continuously innovate and come up with new, improved products and services. Last but not least, individual freedom. Capitalism allows individuals to freely choose how they want to work, what they want to produce, and how they want to consume. Meanwhile, the positive impacts of Islamic economy include, first, social justice. The Islamic economic system emphasizes the importance of social justice and ensuring that wealth is distributed fairly among all members of society. Secondly, environmental sustainability. The Islamic economic system promotes environmental sustainability by prohibiting activities that harm the environment and by encouraging businesses to operate in a way that is environmentally responsible. The third one, community involvement. The Islamic economic system encourages businesses to be involved in their local communities and to contribute to the well-being of society. Last but not least, ethical business practices. The Islamic economic system prohibits certain business practices, such as charging interest on loans, that are considered unethical according to Islamic principles. Both capitalism and Islamic economic systems are economic systems that operate within a market framework. In capitalism, the means of production are privately owned and operated for profit, while in an Islamic economic system, the means of production may be privately or publicly owned but must operate in accordance with Islamic principles. There are several similarities between capitalism and Islamic economic systems. First, both systems prioritize economic growth and development. Secondly, both systems rely on the concept of supply and demand to allocate resources and determine prices. For the next one, both systems encourage entrepreneurship and innovation. And last but not least, both systems rely on a legal and regularity framework to ensure fair and transparent business practices. However, there are also significant differences between the two systems. In capitalism, the pursuit of profit is the primary motivation for economic activity, while in an Islamic economic system, the pursuit of profit is secondary to the goal of achieving social justice and the common good. Islamic economic principles also place strict limits on the charging of interest and the use of speculative financial instruments, which are central to the functioning and capitalist markets. Now, let's take a look at the Islam perceived about the socio-economic development. Socio-economic development refers to the process of improving the well-being of a society by increasing its economic prosperity and reducing social inequality. This can be achieved through a variety of means, including improving education and healthcare, promoting entrepreneurship and small business development, investing in infrastructure and public services, and implementing policies that promote social and economic inclusion. Socio-economic development is important because it can help to reduce poverty, improve quality of life, and create a more stable and prosperous society. In Islam, socio-economic development is seen as means to improve the well-being and quality of life of all members of society. Islam gives value to all of the three economic sectors: public sector, private sector, and third sector, and all sectors help socio-economic development, especially the third sector. The third sector, voluntary sector, plays an important role in addressing social and economic problems by donation or activities supporting community initiatives, providing education and training programs, and advocating for policy changes that benefit marginalized groups. The role of Islamic government is to promote justice and fairness in the society. This includes ensuring that basic needs such as food, shelter, and education are met for all members of the community. Islam places a strong emphasis on social justice and the well-being of the community as a whole. Islam encourages the acquisition of wealth through Sharia or legitimate means and the sharing of wealth through charitable giving, known as zakat. Zakat is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, and it requires Muslims to give a portion of their income to the poor and needy. This helps to reduce economic inequality and promote social cohesion. In terms of economic development, Islam promotes a balanced approach that takes into account both the needs of the individual and the needs of the community. It encourages economic growth and development, but also recognizes the need to protect the environment and to ensure that the benefits of economic growth are shared fairly among all members of the community. As a result, both systems has given a lot of contributions in terms of socio-economic development. Muslim experts believe that the main goal of Islamic economics is to achieve social justice, eliminate poverty, reduce economic inequalities, and rid society of corruption, while for the capitalist system aims to foster and promote the ownership of capital assets by firms and people. Therefore, both systems are necessary for human prosperity, progress, and development on a material and spiritual level within moral and social circumstances.